Hey guys, fall is finally here and I am super excited to start making my soups in the crock pot again. So this video I'm actually doing, well, it's a new version of a chili that I haven't tried before, and then one of my favorites, and then something totally random that I have no idea how it's going to turn out. So come join me. Alright, I have the meat cooking. It's already cooked. I added in the seasoning. And now I'm going to start to add in like tomato sauce. We have the diced tomatoes with chilies, some of the beans, and let that cook. Alright, I added in the tomato sauce and the diced tomatoes. Maggie! I like to try and get it up to a boil before I add in the beans, and then let it slow cook the rest of the time. That's why the Instant Pot is great. You could do it all in one. Alright, now I'm going to start my chicken and dumpling. I cheat. I do it the super easy way. Normally, I actually have canned chicken. The grocery store didn't have it yesterday, and I had a raw breast in the fridge, so I'm just going to use that up. But again, normally I do it super, super easy. So I'm going to chop that. I will saute it. I will saute it in here. And then my broth is cream of chicken with chicken broth, which normally I have a carton. Today I have these super salty things, but using up the pantry. It's already 3 o'clock, so obviously dinner's only in like a few hours. Good thing it'll cook pretty quickly. All right, so while this is browning, sorry you can hear my kids coughing, I will get everything opened, ready to go, quick as easy, or quick as possible. This obviously will come off as soon as I pour in the liquid. Ooh, excuse me. This is what everything looks like. It looks like a bunch of gob of glue or whatever. So I try and keep it thicker. Obviously with a crock pot, thins out. So I'm gonna let this cook. Actually, that is not super thick, so looks like I have about enough. All I have to do now is make the dumplings, which I will show you a little bit later. I'll let this kind of melt and do everything. I'm on the last part of my chicken and dumpling, which is the dumplings. And if you've been watching the video so far, my house is quiet. It's 4:50 in the afternoon. And my children, who have been nightmares all day, are asleep. The rest of the night is mine, and I cannot wait. Anywho, no matter how many times I make these, I still have to look up the proportions. 2 cups flour, 4 eggs, tiny bit of milk. I need to find a chicken dumpling recipe that I really enjoy. And I think I got my first idea of what I liked. I actually think it might have been a canned soup where the dumpling was more of like a, I would say like a gnocchi, but not where it like falls apart. I don't know how to describe it. So I would try all these different recipes. You know, in the crock pot, it would say like drop in, you know, homemade biscuit dough or the biscuit from a can or whatever. And a lot of them were like, oh, toss it in, and then, you know, it'll cook in the broth, which it never did for me, like ever. So I'd always have these like gooey raw dough in the soup. So then I would try making them ahead of time, and it wasn't what I was looking for. So, and then, I don't know at what point, but I had been eating Spätzle, which is a German dumpling. And if you've had Spätzle, they look like these like little squiggly lines. But if you don't use the little device and make it that way, you can have them any shape or size you want. Did you just eat a rock? Maggie, it's a rock. Anyways, so made these dumplings, boiled them up, then I chop them to the size I want them. I put them in the broth that's been in the slow cooker, and it's the exact thing that I like. Now I know everybody likes different. My husband likes the Bisquick dumplings, so he just doesn't usually eat this version. My mom loves it. I don't know. I don't like my dumplings when they're soggy. I feel like I'm eating soggy bread. But I will say, my sister-in-law, Cassandra, her recipe is good. But in all honesty, everything's from scratch, and I just don't have time for that. So here's like the dough. We're literally just gonna drop it into the water. The dough expands. You can see it's this like giant thing. So what I do, is I will chop it into like sizes that I want my dumplings. And sometimes they're still a little raw in the middle just because they're so thick. And then if that was the case, then I throw it back in the water. But this one is not. So we'll take the lid off the crock and throw them in. This one, just now when I cut it open, you can see it's kind of like dry in the middle because I literally just put them in the broth. The longer they soak in there, the better they get. So good. And yeah, I'm gonna let it soak for a while and I'll eat dinner later. All right, got my chicken and dumplings, and now I'm gonna go sit down on the couch, watch a little Hallmark, and then hopefully if it stops raining, I can go sit outside in the hot tub for a bit. We're gonna try and make an easy potato soup. I have, yeah, so I have tons of these. There's some carrots, throw in some broth and water, and then we will use a immersion blender. So let's try. Okay, so it's done. What I ended up doing was mixing in cheddar cheese, bacon bits, salt, onion powder, that sort of stuff, but it turned out really good. I did add a little bit of milk, so yeah, tastes pretty good. Thank you so much for watching. Really glad that all 3 of the soups turned out pretty well. I now have some dinner and lunches for the next week or 2, actually. They'll probably end up in the freezer. But if you like this video, be sure to like it down below. And if you want to join the family, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.